Mic check, mic check. Morning Masters Podcast, your host, Main, of course. I'm back with another Thinking Out Loud. I think this is number 52. I think I got the number right finally. Shout out to me. Mic check, mic check. So, first and foremost, I want to thank all the supporters, all the listeners, all the people who support the platform, the podcast, whether it be from my personal Facebook page or from the Morning Masters Facebook page, the YouTube page. I'm seeing I'm getting more comments now. That's dope. I want to say this about the comments, man. Those mean a lot because it keeps the algorithm going, I guess, or whatever. And I guess the more you comment, like people can see it, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. So just comment on YouTube video if you can. Those are always great. I get those in email, so I typically see those when I check my email. There's a comment there. The Thinking Out Loud normally get a lot of the comments because it's generally speaking for one, and then we always connecting. So y'all might comment on a thought process I have, or a thought I have, or a story I tell. So shout out to y'all, shout out to me, shout out to everybody. Right? Make sure the sound is right. All right, my bad. Still kind of work out some kinks and stuff here and there, so you gotta forgive me. Hopefully, okay. Hopefully it's in focus. I don't know. It's hard to tell. The camera be so far back, but I'm getting something for that, so we'll see. But yeah, man, shout out to y'all, man. Definitely been a dope first month. First month is almost over. I feel like I did a good job the first month. I know there'll be times like where March and April come, I won't be filming as much, or won't be able to podcast as much because of the work load out that'll be put on me outside of this life. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully right now y'all can enjoy the rapid episodes and the quality of the content episodes. That's my main thing. I hope the quality of the content of these episodes I'm putting out are high and are well, because without that, it's nothing. I want to continue to get better and better with each episode. I got 2 episodes coming out this week, hopefully, by the time this drop. I had one with Jordan Johnson. I spoke about that a little bit on my last Thinking Out Loud. So that should be coming out this week, hopefully. Some little kinks in there we got to figure out. And then I also just did a podcast today, not even a few hours ago, with Mr. Donald Doe, Michael Doe of Family Financial Consultants. They own a business. It's stationed in North Augusta, but they do business all over pretty much. And that was a very, very insightful episode, very informative episode. I will say this, man, if I learned anything from the episode, if you my age, younger, older, whatever, insurance is super, super, super important. It is definitely needed. You never know when you're going to die. You never know when you're going to go. I personally firsthand seen that when my grandma passed, just not even saying that she didn't have the right insurance, because she did, but people are over certain things. People can forget. People are human. Certain things aren't always taken care of. So you want to make sure that it's taken care of. And those are people that you can go to see to make sure you're taken care of. I feel like they do it out of love. They do it out of wanting to help the community and not to kind of sell you something. It's more so to make sure that you or your family is doing well once you're gone. I will say this, because I didn't speak mostly in the podcast. I asked questions, let them speak. But I'll say this, made some good points. People care about, their cell phone, having coverage on that. By law, you have to have minimum of some kind of insurance in your car, But you think about how people that don't look like us, that's the new phrase for saying white, if y'all don't know. People that don't look like us, that's something they do. That's a hustle to them. I'm gonna put insurance on you. I'm gonna put insurance on you. And now you got wealth. You got wealth. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? So, if anything, not for wealth, not just for financial gain per se, but you want to make sure you got insurance because you got kids, you got a house, you got a mortgage. You want to make sure people that don't die when you die are still taken care of. It fills that void. So a lot of times people say, man, if I go, who gonna take care of this one? If I go, who gonna take care of it? You can take care of them still if you go. Just get some insurance. It can be you. It can definitely be you. So I learned a lot in the episode. So I hope y'all check that out. By the time this come out, that shit already been out. So yeah, man, shout out to them for that. And I want to continue to get better. I feel like, being in a room with people like that, people who, not saying they frown upon at all, but they don't look at $100,000 a year the way I or my peers or people younger than me or people who don't deal with a high amount of money look at it. 100K a year is life-changing money to some people, and he made a comment in it, and I thought it was really dope. Like, it is, until you get it, and then you realize, like, it ain't really that much. Stop there, though. Just me being in a room with someone who even thinks like that tells me that whether it's in real life, just in podcast life, whatever, I'm doing something right to be in these rooms with people who are super successful and then still have hunger to get more, to gain more, not just gain more money, but the fact that there's more things too than just saying I make 100K a year, I'm successful. No, it's more stress to it. It's more avenues to make more money. It's more ways to be happy. It's more ways to find purpose. So I like it. Like, it's nothing better than doing that, thinking out loud after an episode like that or episode at all, because you learn so much in that small amount of time you get to talk that I want to come share with y'all as soon as possible, or just share my thoughts. My thoughts on the episode is really dope. I hope that y'all enjoy it and y'all like it. If you do like it, go watch it, go comment on it. If you don't, go watch it, go comment on it. If you hate it, go watch it, go comment on it. Either way, share it, send it to your friends. I don't care. But yeah, man. Family Financial Consultants. Make sure you go type that on Facebook. Go like the page. Go like them. I'm gonna be working with them soon. Hopefully, pretty sure we got some things in the works. So, man, get some insurance. It is super, super important, man. Speaking of insurance and just having your life together and just making sure you set in life. We talk about vision boards and then talk about financial boards and things of that nature. Just having your life and your things in order, man. It's so important. And the other day, I don't know, it's a horrible segue, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The other day, I'm driving and I happen to stop at a stop sign because you can't come out the road. It's like I'll get hit, right? People are walking, so they come around the car in front of the car. It's somebody I've seen before. He comes back to the car a little bit like, hey, I ain't trying to bother you. Just I roll the window down and say, what's up, man? He goes, man, look, man, we got the power turned off, give me a whole spill of what he going through. And I was like, I ain't got no cash on me, what I'm saying? You tap your pockets and you ever do the pocket tap so they can leave you alone? Like, man, I ain't. He was like, so look, hold up. So I'm like, yeah, I ain't got. I'm driving now. I'm not driving. I'm in the driving seat. I'm like, I ain't got it. He like, yeah, I got a cash app. I'm like, oh, okay, just type it. All right, So with that, I ended up. I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm not saying it to sound like I'm this guy, like I'm not. But I ended up cash apping him like $50 because of his situation. What he told me, give him 20 would just keep sealing the hole. So I kind of, I cash apped him, and there's two things that's wrong with that. First of all, the three things. One, that was wild because it's probably somebody I know personally for real that probably could have used something that I would cash app him, and this is a stranger. I'm just saying, oh, I'll help you. That's one thing. And the second thing that was wrong with it was my daughter's the nicest person in the world. My oldest daughter. She's the nice. She ain't gonna bother you. She is to herself. She ain't gonna do nothing to you, right? So when he drove off, I said, I gave $50, and I just happened to say it, I don't know, like I'm like they grown. I told my kids like they the homies, you know what I'm saying? So I'm driving like, man, I gave $50, and Brooke was like, Daddy, like, like she was like, oh, what is wrong with you? Like that's too much money, you know what I'm saying? So that was the other thing that was wrong. And my 11-year-old daughter had to tell me that was too much money, right? But the third thing that was wrong with this, in all actuality, just the serious thing is the fact that I had a feeling. The next day I told my daughter, I said, yo, I really wild out giving that guy $50. Don't you think? She's like, yeah, I should block him on Cash App because that was wild. I shit you not. I promise to you. 5 minutes later, and that's just everything I love. 5 minutes later, I get a Cash App request for $20. I said, he thinks I'm a sucker. He thought I was a sucker. That's how I feel. Like, I just gave you 50. People normally give people in those situations, 5. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? You give $1. That's the old days. $1, you go about your business. 5, 7, 10. I gave you 50, and you still have the next day to Cash App me $20 or request $20 from me on Cash App. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? That's crazy. So yeah, man, that was wild. But just having your life in order. The good thing about that though, I felt like, the fact that I'm able to do that is what I like. Because I remember being in this position where, I wasn't able to do that. Am I always able to do that? No. But talking to Mr. and Mrs. Doe rather, I realized, you have to prioritize things. So it had me thinking and thinking of things we prioritize over things things we prioritize over things we should prioritize or we don't. Like, give somebody $50, right? Do you have life insurance? They say you can get for $35, $45 a month, but you'll give somebody 50, or you'll lend this person money, or you'll do that, but you won't get your life insurance for this cheap rate. But if something happens to you, it would do wonders for your family. Just making sure you're straight. The fact that, okay, well, you behind this, like, let's get out of the debt before we start buying, clothes, the shoes, the Jordans, the this, the that. I'm not preaching to nobody, because do what you want to do with your money, but we talking about prioritizing. I feel like prioritizing, changing, I feel like those things come with adulthood. Those things come with that grown man side we talk about, that grown woman side we talk about. I feel like those things come with it when you think about, okay, I need these shoes, but it's probably best for that $150 I spend on these shoes is a good amount of money for the next couple months to make sure my credit is right. So things of that nature. And it's top of the year, so I'm still trying to be in that bag of wanting people to have a successful 2023. I feel like you don't have. So I look at life. I work in retail. I look at life in 4 quarters, because that's retail life. You got first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, and I feel like the first quarter is super important. But the first 2 quarters are super important, because setting yourself up for success in those first 2 quarters can kind of coast you through the last 2 quarters, right? A good point was made on that podcast as well, when she says you should do your vision board, like, if anything, right before Thanksgiving. Reason being, you got December, everybody spend all their money for Christmas, so you start the year off in a hole most times, right? Or you start the year off effed up, or whatever the case may be. You done drain this, you done drain that, use that credit card, use that. So you wanna start your vision board off early. But I feel like that comes with prioritizing, but because if you don't prioritize correctly, or you don't prioritize adequate, enough, you'll have the wrong things being top of your list, and then the right things being bottom, and that's vice versa. So you're already setting yourself up for a bad year. I know we got income tax time coming. You feel like, okay, I can do this, I can get out of the hole. But we gotta start thinking differently. And talking to them made me think all this stuff. Like, damn, you gotta think differently. Like, you cannot. It's nothing. Of course, get your money. If you can get back however much you're getting back on taxes or whatever, why not? It's yours. We work for it. But don't let it be something that pull you out the hole. Let it be something that you can build on and continue to build on, and what that looks like for everybody is different. It may look different for me. It may look different for you. Because some people don't get taxes back. You're not getting money back. Because the way it's set up, you're not getting money back. So, yeah, look at things like that, man. And I think episodes like that make me feel good about what I'm doing. When I think about More Than Masters, I think about this podcast, I think about this platform. It is super imperative to me to keep everything sacred, because I feel like even though you got your platforms out there, you got your Ken Making a Difference, you got Sit Down with Slims, you got prominent platforms that I work very, very heavily with. I think we all mean something different to the city. We all mean something different to the city. So I would tell them the same thing I'm about to say is, like, keep what you going sacred. Like, keep it you. You know what I'm saying? Keep it true to what you want it to be. And I try to do that with More Than Masters. I try to make it as true as possible as I want it to be. All the way down to the guests, to the line of questioning, to what questions I contest, to what answers I contest, to what questions I ask, what questions I don't ask. You know what I'm saying? To how much I give you room to just speak freely, to what I say, hey, hold on, stop, explain that. All that stuff matters to me, and it matters when I'm doing episodes, because I want somebody to be able to watch these episodes of More Than Masters. I want somebody to be able to just scroll down some of the episodes I have, maybe not even watch them, just scroll down some episodes I have and be like, okay, damn, this is what Augusta got to offer. That's my main purpose. Like, I want people to look at this page, look at this platform, look at all the content that's on that platform, all the information that's in this context. In the actual content, there's information within that. It's almost like a book. You open that book, so you press play on that content. There's information. Yeah, we entertain, we joke, we laugh, we have a good time, but there's a lot of information in there. And I want people to know that people in Augusta, Georgia have this information. A black person in Augusta, Georgia has this information. There are successful people here. There are successful black people here. And that's my main goal with Morning Masters, like always have been, is wanting to show how immensely talented people are here, how super successful people are here, how super knowledgeable people are here. And that's what I want the platform to always convey. And it's times where I joke, I play, I have my kids on and stuff like that. But I also want people to know that, here's a dad that's doing X, Y, Z and doing so much, but still making time for his kids some way, somehow. You know what I'm saying? That's what I know to do. We use this as time to bond. Sometimes they see I'm here so much, they want to come. Like, can we just come with you? Like, yeah, why not? Can we get on camera? Yeah, why not? Can we get a microphone? Yeah, why not? I do like the fact that I feel like the work I've been putting in has been starting to pay off. Like, for all the people noticing me, my neighbor, I don't know if I said this on the platform now, but my neighbor the other day, about a month ago or something like that, I was coming out the house and I was, going to the car, and she said, "Hey, are you a coach?" I said, "What?" She said, "Are you a coach?" I said, "Nah, I ain't a coach." I said, "My brother played ball. Normally I'm thinking people think my brother, because, we look alike, brown skin, light skin, but for the most part we look alike." I was like, "You mean my brother Don? He played ball. He went to Cal. I'm giving her a rundown." No. Do you coach? I think you coach, right? I said, "No, I don't coach. I'm like, no, I'm not a life coach. I don't coach. I said, I do a podcast. I talk. You might have seen me there." She's like, yes. She said, "Yes, I've been watching your stuff for a long time. I didn't know that was you." This lady lived next to me for the last 4 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 4 years. And I thought that was dope. It meant a lot to me that it's not a big deal, but it's a big deal to get, like, seen. 'Cause I'm not even always on camera. This is something new I'm doing. But what happened was, she seen some of the episodes that I did when I did the basketball program and stuff like that, which is funny. 'Cause anybody know me, I was like, damn, I'm tired. I don't feel like going to this event. But I went and did the girls. I went and did the boys, and those ended up working out for me. And putting that work in just means so much. Like, putting that work in does so much for you. It puts you in such great positions, man. Like, when you just say effort and you just step into whatever work you have to put in, man. I can't stress it enough, man. Like, that it wasn't that she knew who I was. Like, it's cool, that's fine. It wasn't that she knew. It was the fact that it was from something that I woke up and said I'm gonna do, even though I didn't necessarily want to do it, because my love for what I do. That was what it was for me. Like, not that she recognized it, but the fact that if I didn't do that, then that would never happen. You know what I'm saying? So I went to work, I'm happy. I'm like, oh, my neighbor knows me, you know what I'm saying? And it's time I get noticed here and there. I don't know if that's what people know me from for real, but, I'm like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. But that means a lot, you know what I'm saying? Just to get the notoriety, to know that, okay, people are watching. That's what that means to me. People are watching. But it's never about me, it's all about the content. So I want to continue to make good content. Excuse me. I was testing out my new mixer. So another thing on the family financial consultants episode with Mrs. and Mr. and Mrs. Doe, I used a new mixer. I bought a new mixer, so I'm trying to learn it and get used to it. So I used that. Hopefully the sounds great. Let me know when y'all watch it, right? And when I was practicing, when we were practicing rather, she actually was like, is there anything you regret or anything like that? And I said no, right? But I started thinking about why I don't regret anything in podcasting, why I haven't regretted any decisions I made. And I live vicariously through people sometimes. So even when I started the podcast, there are other, people that started the podcast afterwards, and there was shows, and there was Facebook shows, and there was this and there was that, which is the reason why I don't do certain things. Because I start to see mistakes, or I see missteps and mishaps in other people's actions, right? So one, I'll talk about the Facebook Live for one. I don't go live on Facebook when I'm doing my episodes, because for one, I want you to watch the episode once I put it out, because I want you to see what I want you to see. Me going live, that's too risky, because it's a possibility something might come out that I don't want to come out. So I have to be in control of what's being put out there. I control the narrative of what's being put out more in Masters, and I want to continue to do so. So I tend to not go live on episodes because you never know what you're gonna run into. Somebody can say the wrong thing. And then also the main thing for me is I want people to watch the finished product. I wouldn't buy a expensive camera, expensive microphones, a mic stand, a MacBook, expensive equipment for you to hear and the sound can be crisp. Why am I buying all these items for if I'm gonna just go live when I'm talking to my guests? If that's the case, I'm gonna just keep my iPhone playing and go live every day and just start a live show saying, "Hey, talking with Maine." You know what I'm saying? That's always my purpose. But I've seen that now. That's just me. If somebody else want to do that, that's fine. But just me personally, I'm not spending money on this type of stuff to go live and y'all watch the live, so you don't watch the full product or you don't watch the finished product. No way, no way. I'm not happening. It's not happening. Sorry. Another thing with as far as controlling your narrative and just being involved, picking guests is so tedious. Like I take that. That's a big thing to me. The reason being because I've seen, and I ain't gonna say no names, but I've seen where people have picked guests and based off what the name means. So if somebody got a name, they'll want that guest on, regardless of whether it goes against, regardless of whether it goes with the things they go in line with, like your morals, your values, your principles, regardless of whether it's like it's to your demographic, regardless whether it's like it's your message, you know what I'm saying? To me, in my messages, certain guests just would never be able to come on here because they don't exemplify what I think more than the Masters is supposed to exemplify. So I wouldn't get that guest. I don't care what kind of name you got. I don't care what kind of numbers you do. I don't care what kind of influence you got. I'm in control of that all the time, 100%. I'm going to continue to do so because it's been working well for me. And they say if you don't break, don't fix it. But I've seen people in the past do things like that. Like, okay, I'm gonna get this person on, man. We're gonna kill it, and we're gonna get a lot of views. The content trash, or it's backlash, or you don't get the perception you thought you were gonna get, or the reception you thought you were gonna get from your audience and your core audience saying like, what's this trash? I never wanted to be in that situation, but I've seen people be in that situation, and I told myself, oh, check that off. Don't chase names. Don't chase numbers. 9 times out of 10, and I say this on the podcast a lot. When I get somebody, I got a phone, right? And when I get somebody on this phone, 9 times out of 10, I've already got notes in my phone about whether or not I want to interview you. And if I got notes in there, I have things I want to talk to you about. So my eye is always watching people, whether you blow up, don't blow up, whether you're a nobody, a somebody, bottom of the barrel, top of the barrel, it don't matter. Like, it's handpicked. I'm not picking based off numbers. I don't pick based off influence. I pick based off whether I think you fit the podcast well, which is why also when people reach out to me, I don't always reach back out sometimes because I have to go do my research and see if, you fit the criteria, see if it makes sense for you to be on here, or should I, pitch you, hey, Maine and Slim, we got this going on, da-da-da. Those are reasons why you make multiple platforms. But for this platform, I have to be in control. I work in retail, like I say all the time. So part of working in retail and part of running a good business is really controlling your controllables, right? So you got expenses of things of that nature that's controllable. You can control, your payroll, you know what I'm saying? You can control your mechanics, the stuff you spend on mechanics. Like, are you gonna fix this all the time? Fix that all the time. You can control that. You know what I'm saying? You can have a threshold on that. You can't control that thing like rent, bill, like the lights coming on. Those you can't control that, but you got controllable expenses. And I feel like in podcasting, which is my business, my thing, I got controllables, and one of the controllables is guests. Guests are controllable. So when I have a guest on here, it's never really a gamble, so to speak, because I don't do nothing for shock value. And if I ever put something out there that way, better believe I've done my due diligence and making sure I'm prepared to step in that arena, step in that room, step in that realm. I want to give a major shout out to Kim Macon, right? Reason being it's Slim and Ken. Those, and I always shout those two out. It's not for political reasons, but just because on a real tip, they mean so much to me. And I'll tell you both why. But like for Ken, I don't know what I would do without him, because these little nuggets, them combos we have where he big me up sometimes, or even if he's not bigging me up, it's just like, yo, you did this, or you should do this, or this would be dope. Those he probably don't know, but those mean so much to me, because he don't have to do that for one. You know what I'm saying? And for two, he's been doing this so long that I know that he's decorated enough to tell me, hey, do it this way, or hey, do it that way. Whether it's something small, hey, go make sure you spell that word right, or hey, you spelled it this way. You know what I'm saying? It just be the little stuff. But one thing he always told me was, like, when you going into business, when you picking these guests, when you doing what you're doing, make sure whatever you do is in alignment to what you believe, to what Mortal Masters mean to you. And that was the first ever conversation we had when he came to my house in North Augusta, and we did an episode, and then that always stuck with me. I don't know why, it always did. I said, anything I do, they have to be okay with what my message is. Anybody I do business with has to be okay with what my message is. They come on a platform, they have to be okay with my messages. And I have to do it. Slim, I don't know, I'll do that with Slim as well. Like me, the visuals, like the stuff I'm doing now, like even the editing and stuff like that. Without him, I don't do none of this stuff. I'm just still doing the audio only, and I might still be good at that, but I mean, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Just having him around, having that person around, it meant so much to get the camera, for him to do in the film he was doing at such a cheap rate, to do it for me, for how long he did it. For him coming through and making sure, okay, let's make sure you're doing this right. It come through, or FaceTime me. I stop what I'm doing, don't worry about it. FaceTime if you have a problem. Those are things you can't replace, you know what I'm saying? So I want to shout out to them. I always shout my people out, shout my peers out, because I never want to be like, it's just me. You know what I'm saying? When you see me thriving, you see them thriving, you see them thriving, you see me thriving, and it's a real brotherhood / camaraderie amongst us. And I know we all got our own relationships, but man, I wouldn't be as far as I am like without them guys. So I definitely want to shout them out all the time. So shout out to Slim, shout out to Ken, shout out to all the supporters again. I wanted to do a Thinkin Out Loud. I wanted to get myself back in the mode and doing Thinkin Out Loud. I'll be venting soon. I ain't venting right now, but I'm pretty sure I'll be venting soon. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully y'all enjoying the content I'm putting out. I should put out 2 episodes this week. If I put out one Monday, I'll probably put one out on Thursday or Friday. But yeah, man, Mortal Masters podcast be out. Comment, let me know what you think about this episode. If you got any ideas for Thinkin Out Loud, got any questions, email me at morettmasters@gmail.com. That's morettmasters@gmail.com. Mortal Masters podcast be out.